I challenged myself to build a remote-controlled vehicle out of Lego that's so easy to drive that you can also drive it around the Lego city. The vehicle should be only 6 nuts wide and 100% made out of Lego. The problem is that Lego motors take up a ton of space. Will I be able to meet all these criteria in the end? No idea. The best Lego system for our case is the powered up system. With Lego's power function system, there's still this sensor that connects to the remote. But we're using this battery box from the newer powered up system. It connects directly to an app, so we don't need space for such a sensor. In the past I've done several experiments with remote controlled vehicles in minifigure scale, and one thing is clear. We definitely need servo steering, otherwise the steering will be complete shit. And if you're wondering what a servo motor does, here you can see it. Even though this motor looks like a normal motor at first, you can program it in the app, which we'll get to in a moment, to act as a servo. And it takes up less space than a power function servo motor. For the drive, we're using this simple medium linear motor. It seems like the batteries are dead. Yeah, first we need to clean up a bit, but not with bare hands. And after cleaning everything with a little vinegar and a cotton swab, we'll put new AAA batteries, not AA, but AAA, and it works again. Okay, now we can open the app, and under create, we can connect the battery box to the phone and start programming. And you might be wondering, whoa, it must be super complicated to reprogram the motor to servo, right? It's just this one block. And when you let the program run now, the motor keeps spinning normal. But if we have a pin in place, it can suddenly calculate where the center is. And boom, that already works. For the drive we're using this block, but we're also adding the part that allows you to stop the vehicle with the press of one button. Okay, now it's time to arrange the motor with the battery box so that we have still room for the drive and steering mechanisms and the outer shell. If you're wondering how exactly we're going to get the steering to work, well, I'm wondering that too. Okay, for the first attempt, let's try this. Maybe it's a start. Yeah, it doesn't work so well yet. One big problem is that there's a lot of space between the gears, which makes the steering very imprecise. Another system will definitely work better. For the next attempt, we'll use these gear racks. Let's see if that works. I didn't expect it to work so well on the second try. Now let's improve it a bit, because it's still steering a little too erratically. You can easily fix it with gear reduction. We won't need these gears anymore. If we add a bigger gear down here, the whole thing moves a bit slower. Okay, now that we got our working steering, we can focus on the outer shell and design. And after some time, this is what came out of it. It's built in a way that you can easily build an outer shell around it. For the lid, we're using this large tile that sticks less on the underside. For the driver's cap, I use some sideways building techniques, and I use these hinges to get the hood done. Okay, we've got one vehicle done. Let's move on to the second one, for which we'll use the same basic construction. This time only the exterior design will be different. So I spent the last 4 hours building this fire truck. For the sides I used a lot of sideways building techniques, and for the ladder I used these modified tiles. On this side I had to make it look like a slightly open roll-up door to make space for the cable. And on the roof we have this ladder with this part underneath, so you can press the button on the battery box. Okay, now let's see how well both of them drive. First, let's try it on road plates. And yeah, it works pretty well. The steering isn't too hard. Now let's try parking. At first I drove like a woman. 30% of my viewers will hate me now. Okay, new attempt. Much better. Next, we need to rescue this cat. Now let's see how many cars it takes to stop the fire truck. Okay, this one will make it.
Nope.
But how is it possible that it takes 6 vehicles but only 1 minifigure? And after driving on the floor and through the city a bit, you can say that it's relatively easy to control. If you want more like this crazy skyscraper, you can find a video here. And at 1 million likes, I'll motorize this car.